Hello guys, this is Real World Techie. Today, in this video, let's run our first Docker container. But before that, let's have a quick recap. What is Docker? Docker is a tool that let your application run inside a lightweight isolated box called container. Remember the example which we have discussed earlier in our introduction video? The game that runs perfectly fine between four of our friends on different devices, which runs on different versions too. That's exactly what Docker does to our app. It makes sure it runs same anywhere. If you haven't watched my introduction video, I would recommend checking that video first so that we would get a basic understanding of a Docker. Let's start building our Docker container. For that, I have created a simple Python app which makes an API call and gives back the response. In this Python app, I have maintained three files: app.py, Dockerfile, and requirement.txt. App.py is simple Python code where it handles all the API requests. Dockerfile, here is the place where we have set up all the instruction to create our Docker container. And requirements.txt. This is the place we store all our libraries or dependencies required for our Python app to run smoothly whenever the container gets starts. Dockerfile. Let's go more into the details so that we can understand how a container is getting created. So first line says it's a Python based image. It's trying to set up a Docker container to have the Python setup ready. Similarly, how we try to run our Python app in our local. If we try to run a Python code in our local, we would install the Python software, right? It is as similar as that, so that the Docker container would have all the setup ready for the Python. And here, the working directory is app. It's nothing but it says whatever the content which we are trying to copy from our local app to the container, it's try to store all those code and files within this app directory and copy. This is trying to copy all the content and getting stored into this folder. And cmd and python 3 app.py. This is nothing but execution of our command. Like in local, when we try to run a file in Python, which is available in Python, we would hit python 3 space app.py, right? So that's the thing. Whenever the Docker is getting started, we are trying to run with this command. So let's build our Docker container using the Docker command. This command explains that try to build a Docker by using this name reference called Docker app, and dot is nothing but execute this Docker file from this current directory. And Docker app is nothing but just a naming of our container. We can name as we wish, but currently I am building a simple Docker app mentioning in our tutorials, which would be simple enough. So let's try to hit this command so that it can build our Docker container. So the Docker container got built. Let us run our Docker app. So it throws an error saying that requirements are not available for our application. But we have provided that requirements here, right? Even though it's not able to run this API call successfully. So let us understand why it is getting failed. It is getting failed because we haven't provided this requirements.txt in our Docker file to get set up whenever the build is getting happen. So let's try to implement that. So this is trying to do our requirements.txt to copy into our container. And later on, we are saying the pip manager to install freshly from our libraries so that it should not fail whenever the run app is getting run. So let's build again. So let's run this again. So done. So this is the one it's able to execute. I hope this make you clear understanding what Docker container is. This video helped you better understanding of a Docker. So please give me a like, comment and subscribe.